Hey YouTube, first things first, I just wanted to say a big thank you to my brother for getting me a mic for my birthday. Thanks Jim. Hopefully you guys can hear me way better now than the audio straight from my phone. And second, I wanted to just say a big shout out to apparently my biggest fan. She's watched every single one of my videos. Happy birthday, Emily. This video is dedicated to you. What I wanted to do with this video is just to explain to you how, with some simple basic rules and patterns, that you can keep a planted tank without having to go crazy with CO2 injection, really fancy substrates. And hopefully you get some tips from this or some more understanding about what I do that you can potentially use in your setup if you wanted to start a planted tank. The first thing that I was going to go through is the substrate. So you can see in my tank I use sand. I always use sand. It's cheap, it's inert, so it doesn't have any nutrients, which means I can control the nutrients that I put in the tank. I like the aesthetic appealingness of it. I think it looks good in a planted tank, and also roots from plants, they can attach to that sand really easily. The things with gravels and those kind of stuff, if you've got cories, they don't respond well with gravel. It can damage their face, their mouths. So sand's just a really easy substrate to do, and it's cheap, really cheap. You can get kids play sand. To dose that up, because obviously it is completely inert, every month I put in root tabs. So I buy these things called JBL Ferropol root tabs. They are a small tablet. These ones are pink. You can get like different branded root tabs from loads of different places. If you just look for root fertilizers, root tab fertilizers, drop these in, buy the roots sort of sporadically around the tank once a month to give them some nutrients from their roots. Then on a weekly basis, I use JBL Ferropol. So this is just a liquid fertilizer. I choose one without nitrates and phosphates purely because I have a lot of that in my water, and I've got quite a bit of livestock in there as well, which increases, you know, the nitrates in the tank. This I find is great. I even use this on the small tank, the nano tank in the spare room, and I didn't get any algae problems with it. And I've always stuck with that. I think it's a really good general purpose fertilizer. The other thing that I've got is these clay balls. So these clay balls, they're quite cool. I drop these in with like the larger plants if I'm putting new plants in. Normally these probably could get cycled every 6 months because they're so big. They're a clay kind of based fertilizer, and they're good for, you know, like the crypt that I've got at the front, those kind of plants which have really big root bases, and the fern obviously at the back. That's the Amazon sword, sorry, that I've got at the back. That's probably the things that I'd use the clay balls for. The next thing that you should look into is your cleanup crew. I have loads of nerite snails in here, and they eat algae like there's no tomorrow. So that's why, realistically, I don't have that many algae issues with the tank. And it's not because I've got the balance perfect. It's actually because I've just got loads of nerite snails eating all the algae. And they do a great job of keeping the tank tidy, keeping the algae down. And also I think, you know, once you get to that plateau of algae's gone, then it's manageable and under control. And it has taken me a while to sort of get there, but eventually, like, just sticking to this regime, I haven't had any issues. The daily thing that I do is I put liquid CO2 in. This allows the plants to absorb more nutrients on a daily basis. However, the reason I do this and not CO2 injection is it's so much cheaper, it's less mess. I don't have to worry about pressurized CO2 canisters being under my tank. I don't have to look at pH swings. Because obviously overnight, if you run your CO2, your pH can go crazy in the tank. I don't want to worry about any of that. I literally do 4 squirts of that every day, straight in the tank. If I'm away, my partner can do it. She just puts it straight in, feeds the fish, done. And it gives I think keeps some of the algae away, gives the plants a good boost in nutrients. Good boost in the ability to absorb nutrients, and is really good. So I'll give that one a really big thumbs up. I've used lots of liquid CO2s. As I said, this is FloraGlow Carbo, a really, really easy one to use. 1 squirt per 50 litres. And then finally, the other little trick that I very, very rarely use, but this Algae exit, I've actually had some pretty good results with this. I've had some green algae and some small breakouts of algae in the tank, especially when I'm setting it up. And I find just a 4-week treatment of this, and then sorting out your regime to make sure that everything's stable, putting your liquid CO2 in, making sure there's good fertilisation in the roots of the plants, doing your water changes, this really can keep it under control and help that those initial problems out. I would recommend it. Give it a go. Some people might be completely against it. It is an additive. I haven't had any problems with the livestock that were in my tank when I used this. Yeah, so that's really good. So thanks everyone. That's all I really wanted to go through in this video. Just show you some of the tips and some of the things that I do on a regular basis to kind of maintain and keep my tank going. I also wanted to say a big thank you to all my subscribers. Like, I never thought that when I started this, I'd have over 1,000 people wanting to watch my videos. So if you do have any other things that you want me to go through or you're interested in, drop a comment below and I'll see what I can do. Thanks everyone, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you later. This is literally how lazy my cat has been whilst I've been doing this video. She hasn't even moved. Alright, fur head. Say hi. Say hi to YouTube. No. No, she's out of it. What about the other one? Do you want to say hi? Say hi to YouTube. Oh, you're awake. Hi YouTube. No, you can't even be bothered to move, can you? Gosh, you're lazy.